we're going to cover how to add a note in Bullhorn. You can add a note to a number of different profiles, whether it's a candidate profile, a contact profile, even a job or company. You can leave a note for any of those types of profiles. Today we're going to do one of the most common ones, which is how to add a note to a candidate profile. You would want to add a note for a number of reasons. Anytime there's interaction or some type of action associated with this particular profile, you probably want to leave a note as a best practice. For instance, if you were to call the candidate and reach them and have a conversation, you'd leave a note saying that you spoke with them and what you spoke about, just a quick summary. So anyone else who might look at that profile will know what happened and what the details were in case they needed to connect with the candidate for any reason. So let's go ahead and take a look on how to add a note. So we'll use the quick find to find a candidate who's in here. One of the candidates that we have for training goes by the name Taylor Swift. So we search using the first three letters of the first and last name, and her profile comes up. Let's go ahead and open that. Now once her profile opens up, you'll notice that there are two ways that you can add a note to Taylor's profile. One is right here where it says add a note. You've got a live link here, so you can click on that and it'll start the add a note process. Another way you can do it is to use the select an action drop down. That's the way we're going to do it this time. So we'll click here and get the drop down and go to add note. Click on that and it will take us to the add note screen. So what we'll do here is we'll say tried to reach Taylor on her cell phone, left voicemail, invited her to call me back. Okay, so there's a quick note, lets you know what it was I did. The next section asks if you want to replace the general candidate comments with this note. Typically you're going to leave this as no, and the reason why is the general candidate comments are where you have the live link to the LinkedIn profile and things that you want to stay toward the top of their profile no matter what. So leave that as a no. Then the action. Why did we leave this note? As you can see, there's a lot of different options here. In this case, it was an outbound call and we left a voicemail, so we'll choose that one. We can also schedule our next action. So we left a voicemail for Taylor. Let's say we want to email her a day later just to follow up and see if we can contact her that way. You can create a reminder by either adding a task or adding an appointment. Typically you would add a task for something like that. In this case, we won't schedule our next action here. Now, job references. If this is in reference to a specific job, we could add that here. You can click in there and search for the job. We'll show you how to do this in a later video too. It's pretty easy, but this allows you to search by company name, by the job title, even by the job number. But that's a good thing to attach because that way it shows what specifically you were reaching out to her about. And down at the bottom you have email notification. So say for instance, one of my colleague David, had been working with Taylor and he was out sick and I happened to be following up with her on his behalf that day. I'd probably want him to know that I tried to reach out to her. So if I look for David in here, his name comes up. I can click that right there, and once I click save, it'll email David. Since we're training, I won't send the email to him. So now that we've got everything in place, we can click save. And we've got our note. As you'll notice, on the overview page of Taylor's profile, it shows us the last 10 notes. This note is the first note that we've ever left in her profile. Therefore, it shows up here. Gives you your date and time, who left the note, what type of note, and then you can actually open it up here. And you can get a look at the note, what the contents are. So that is how you leave a note in a candidate profile. I'll see you in the next video. Good luck.